So I looked into it a little bit this weekend, and I kind of came to the conclusion that really the three main characters. Well, first of all, who's seen the movie? Yes. All right. The three main characters, Harvey, Batman, and the Joker, are representative of three different moral or ethical perspectives. And each of these we've learned a little bit about in our years here. So I thought it would be a nice paper to tie in all of that education. So Harvey, the district attorney of Gotham, is representative of, I guess, largely utilitarian values or the utilitarian system. For Harvey, there's nothing that he won't do to ensure that his vision or society's notion or vision of what justice is, nothing he won't do to see that it's not served. If you remember in the film, he even goes as far as kidnapping an innocent schizophrenic and questioning him at length about the whereabouts of the Joker. And the man clearly had no idea what the Joker's plans were or his thoughts. He was just basically one of the Joker's many pawns that he had taken advantage of for his whatever he could use him for. But Harvey threatened to go as far as to put a bullet in his head, basically, if he didn't learn some kind of definitive truth from the man that would lead him to the takedown of the Joker. So in that way, I think that he represents a utilitarian line of thinking. Batman, or Bruce Wayne, represents in a way a sort of Kantian or a dutiful, uncorruptible line of thinking morally. I think a case in point would be at the very end of the movie where the Joker and Batman are on top of the skyscraper in Gotham, and Batman pretty much has the Joker beat. He's got him, on his back, on the edge of the building, and he kind of shoves him off. He's attached to a rope, but he shoves him off the side of the building, and he's on his way, falling to his death. But something within his nature tells him to stop the falling of the Joker by grabbing onto the rope and hoisting him back up to eye level, so he can further question him. But I think it's that saving of the Joker's life is that's the main point, that even though the Joker is this terrible menace to society, and he's killed many people and brought a lot of misery to the city, and killed a lot of the Batman's best friends and family members, that he cannot find it in himself to take his life, although that, I guess, would probably be society's most practical judgment, would just to end the life of the one who has caused the misery that you're suffering in the first place. But in a way, Batman sort of sees it as his duty, as Kant might say, to spare the life, because in the end that would be just as bad as what the Joker's been committing, the crimes he's been committing. The Joker himself, I think, represents an attitude or a mindset of a strict nihilist, how do you say it? Nihilist. and a Nietzschean character. He largely sees society's morals as just, he says that it's their morals and their code is a bad joke that's dropped at the first sign of trouble. And he says that the only sensible and, I guess, practical way to live in this world is without morals, which is essentially what Nietzsche, the opinion Nietzsche holds and proclaims. And I think the Joker doesn't really see much value in life except but to, you know, get away with what you can get away with, and I guess just probably the best way of saying it is you're here, so just live it up. Just whatever you want to do, it's all good. There's no afterlife or anything like that. He doesn't exactly talk about that, but that's sort of the mindset that's portrayed through his actions. So those are the three representative perspectives morally in the movie. I think that I'm going to explore all three of these in my paper. I'm also going to, I'm reading through Albert Camus's The Fall. Pardon?
Camus.
Camus, okay. His book, The Fall. I haven't gotten too far into it, but it's basically about these two guys who are in a bar who are just discussing the notions of life and moral ideas and culpability for one's actions. I'm also going to go back to Kant's groundwork for the metaphysics of morals, I think it is. I just put groundwork, but we read that, so I'm going to go through there and cite some stuff in there, pull out what I can. I'm going to take a look at Nietzsche's writings and ideas on moral values, his line of thinking, and why he says that, you know, morals are just kind of human, artificially made up things, I guess, to make you feel good or make you feel like you've been accomplished or you've lived an accomplished life if you can adhere to these artificial values that you've come up with for yourself. And taking, I guess, sort of taking the idea from Jack, I might look into his book, Genealogy, that piqued my interest yesterday. I'm going to look into Bentham and Mill's theory of utilitarianism, consequentialism a little bit more, and obviously I'm going to largely cite, I think, the film itself. I'm also looking into crime and punishment, and I'm going to read through the first 5 chapters through the murder and the weighing of Raskolnikov's conscience throughout the story, and kind of see what I can glean from that in the way of Nietzsche's theory of revenge. One more thing about the movie. I think that the ferry scene is a pretty big plot point during it, and I think it demonstrates really pretty well a few of the moral queries that I'm facing in this paper. I think it's a very interesting scene where you have essentially sort of like the dregs of society, one might call them the criminals, on one ferry, secluded from the common citizens on the other ferry, where